GM.
Yo.
GM. Monday morning. Let's go.
I see a lot of egg PFPs. I'm loving it.
Yeah, they make a good
Eggs.
PFP. You look at the floor and there are lots of differentiating traits there.
It's a simple egg. I saw some people over the weekend go, this is what Cool Pets did for their egg. But guys, it's the egg. Give it a second to hatch here, okay?
Yeah. This is a big day. It's finally happening. GM, you fucking degens. Bailey, Cutter, Sandman, Chipper, Glitches is in the house. Riz Visuals just minted his Cool Pet. Faded Native. Owen Rad. Oh my god. What's that? Am I loud?
No.
Oh.
I think you sound good.
Rad, Vintage Extras, all of the usual suspects in here. Ella D, good to see you. Faded Native is howling now. Arnold, look at this. This is fun. Ashtray, I love it. I love Mondays. I don't know about you. I love Mondays.
I love Mondays.
There it is. Double the GM power. Zhao, thank you. B Vlad. Endless. Don't know if I've seen your name in here. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, I apologize. Yeah, those PFPs are excellent. Some puns there for you. Free market. What the fuck, man? How's it going?
It is going wonderful.
You need I'll give you a minute. It's all good.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Do you need to make your username your crypto name? You can. I would change that profile picture too. Put your JPEG in there. Exclamation mark bowl coming from Vintage Extras. Can't disagree with that one.
Oh yeah. That'll really clean out the old. What are they called again?
Man. Breathe. The lungs?
Ah, yes. Short-term memory loss.
How much of those do you have left? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Lungs or short-term memories?
You know what? I can't be a hypocrite. I was a cigarette, well, I shouldn't say dirty cigarette smoker, but yeah, dirty cigarette smoker.
You could say it.
I have no ill will towards anybody that still smokes them, but one of the best changes I ever made in my life. I
never partook.
It's one of those things, right? It's best not to even start. Once you're there, you're a smoker for life, even if you quit.
I felt like the trend
comes back every once in a while.
The trend was going down. Like when I was graduating high school, going into college, cigarette smoking. I feel like just recently I've been seeing the kids smoke more. Maybe it's in my head. But...
Could be. I don't know. All I can say now is I'm not sure if it's this way in America, but it is fucking expensive in Canada now.
$12 here in New York.
Yeah, ours for like the relative premium kind are like $20 a pack now.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I literally, with the amount that I saved, and this was years ago, the amount that I saved from quitting smoking, I literally just switched it over into car payments and bought a brand new car.
Amazing. I mean, it's true. It's crazy. I mean, I know the surrounding states to New York is much cheaper, but New York is very aggressive tax.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, $17.
It's one of the things, like, you know, it is a healthcare tax here, right? Like we have government funded healthcare, but
exactly.
From, you know, the sin tax, they call it.
That's
right?
A good point.
Alcohol and, you know, so it ain't free. I'll tell you that much.
$50 a pack in Australia? You're shitting me.
Australia is crazy, man. And the price, like, and even though it's Oz dollars, probably like it's their own. I think they're equivalent or pretty close to. Like, it's 35-ish USD. How many come in the pack though? Pixelmon Dutch auction is today. Also a big day. Yes.
Yeah, we could talk about that one. This is the opposite of what I think. Something like Invisible Friends is going to be. Pixelmon has an insane amount of hype, but it's like secret hype. Like it's hype amongst people who I trust.
It's one of those if you know kind of situations.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what I take that statement to mean. If you know, you know.
Right. This is the type of thing that I definitely see selling out at, 3 ETH, like almost like Azuki, like an insta sell out at 3 E and then just running to like 7 or 8. And, I'm
Don't
sure
do
it'll
this to me, man. Am I getting?
They look so good. They're liked by the right people. This is what I always say. This is the main thing here for me. Like, why I would be bearish on something like Hate, even though it got to 10 ETH pre-reveal, and why I would
we didn't
be
even
bullish.
Talk about the reveal of Hape yet. Let's pull that up.
Oh my god!
Wow, we were like, what are we talking about today? There's tons of shit.
Right. But why would I get excited about something like Pixelmon versus that? And it's because of who is interested. Like, when it's just outside new money, Instagram money that's pumping up a project, I really don't have faith in its longevity. But when it is the people in the know, for lack of a better term, I'm bullish. So
there's a squad that you listen to, right? You got your squad. You got your piece.
Yes. Last week was Groundhog Day, and I don't think that should be lost on anyone. Every day last week felt like the same day. We had the same story coming in. I guess the most exciting
we did that.
thing...
You guys didn't even realize. We just played the recording of the previous AlphaMint show 5 times or 4 times.
Oh, you told them.
The rest of the week off. Yeah.
You told them.
Yeah. You guys thought
we were going to get away with that. But, here's the best sign that for me today. I woke up like, all right, we got cool pets today. I guess it's going to be at 11 a.m. Let's wait for the announcement. I woke up. People were minting their cool pets.
8 a.m.
Ready to go.
Was that a secret?
Ready to go. I'm happy. It feels like this week is not going to be Groundhog Day. It feels like this week is going to be a seminal week in NFT history that we will talk about for decades to come.
Watch for Sunday.
Yes, sir.
It's all leading up to this. Do the drum roll. Oh, I fucked it up. Do the drum roll again. GM Degens, what's going on? It is the Monday, February 7th edition of the AlphaMint AM show, hosted live on YouTube and Twitch TV. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Personally, I don't know, maybe I just stepped away from the computer a little bit, but it felt a little bit slow. Free Market mentioned Groundhog Day as a whole week in the pre-show, and I kind of agree with that. But I had a good time, saw some friends, and partook in some IRL stuff over the weekend, and here we are staring down the barrel of a pretty big week, I think. I am your host, R2Degen, along with me by the man, the myth, the capitalist, Free Market capitalist.
Hey now,
Free Market, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was good. It felt quiet on the minting side, loud on the controversy side. There was lots of noise, multiple industry controversies this weekend. So it was more of an entertainment-based weekend than a financially based weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
In the NFT world.
Some of those things that we're going to talk about pretty soon on the show was one of the ENS founders, and I guess if you want to call them executives, had some pretty nasty tweets come out from 2016. Love it or hate it, BuzzFeed doxed the Bored Ape Yacht Club founders, and some stuff ensued with that. Mark Cuban's Instagram at NFT. He doesn't run it personally, but he did own the rights to the name, got banned from Instagram. So yeah, definitely some stuff going down. This is definitely going to feel like a little bit more of a news episode. We're going to talk a lot about the news that happened over the weekend. Then we'll go into some of the drops and stuff that's happening today and what we're looking forward to. But yeah, nothing short of interesting, at least to say that. And here we are. Let's take a look at the crypto markets right now. Pretty good weekend for crypto too. Bitcoin right now is really kind of pushing that 43,000 mark. Ethereum is kind of retesting 3,100, up 13 and 18% on the week respectively. And we're starting to feel like we're putting some of those lows behind us. Maybe the bottom was actually in. It is getting, why are you laughing? Because someone we know called that?
Pretty accurately, I would say. But go ahead.
Live on the show to the tick. Free market called that bottom. Now, I mean, we are getting some pretty big run-ups. It is definitely not quite at all-time highs yet. We still got a little bit of ways to go, but not quite out of the woods. We still could see some drawdowns, but I do think that at least that short-term low is in and set in stone. I think we're going to have some pretty good support lines being drawn in for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, and while I have been positioned aggressively like the bottom was in, I have told you we have to react to reality and we have to see what's going up. And I've said that till now, the chart on a short-term basis is looking bullish, but if you go medium long-term, we still haven't quite firmed up to where you would say that the chart has technically flipped bullish. We could start talking about that now. We're pretty close. Once you get above 3,200, you start to get into a bullish territory again. The move favors a bullish move at that point. The chart gets fixed, quote unquote, above 3,500. So we could start talking about those things again. I would actually say the healthiest thing now, let's say we top out here between 31, 32 today, tomorrow, maybe a couple days of sideways chop. We'd want to see a pullback to 28. We want to see 28 to be real support. We would like a test. We would like the bears to try to push it, tell us we were wrong, say, ha, here it comes again, and then for us to get a nice bounce off of there. So as far as wishing for what the best case scenario would be, I would say it would be we pause somewhere here, in the next $100 on ETH. We get a nice little pullback. We test that support. It's firm. And then we get up to 3,500. That's what I would be looking for going forward. And yeah, I mean, markets certainly have firmed up. And even in traditional markets, I think that the underlying fact that this is the strongest economy any of us have ever experienced, it's why we're seeing high inflation. So even though that does eat into the quote unquote gains of this type of economy, it's an underlying force and tailwind that you're never going to really see a crash into. Quite frankly, that comes later. So yeah. I think risk assets were a little oversold. In fact, very oversold, as I had seen on certain indicators since the 2020 crash. So yeah, I'm feeling bullish again. But let's expect, a $300, $400 pullback here in the next week to try to test that support, which would be healthy. Don't get scared.
If it holds 2,800, I mean, it's got to be off to the races after that point, I think.
Yeah,
and that would be my intuition.
Definitely. I mean, we've talked about my thought this year that we're not going to break out of a range. We did poke through my 3,000, 2,800 kind of lower end of the range briefly, right? But we've quickly come back up into it. So 8 months from now, when we look at that chart, it's going to look like a blip. Even though it felt like Vietnam War going through it, right? It's going to look like a very small blip. And I think the same thing could happen around 5,000. I think we could creep into tax season up into that, maybe 5,000 area. And we could see a poke above, just like we saw a poke below the lower end of my range. But I do think we're going to come back into range. I think it's a sideways consolidation year, but we are set up to get now that bullish leg. And then you get into tax season and the excuse is, okay, we can pull back now because people need money for taxes. That'll be the news that they fit to the reasoning why crypto starts to pull back. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things that, when you try and zoom out and you say history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, right? You see this, these big, high peaks, very, very parabolic moves upwards. And you kind of look at what happened here in, December and January 2017, 2018. I actually think that this feels a lot more like where we were at in that summer 2017, 2017, where we had a big run up and it pulled back and then it started to creep back up. And it does feel like we're preparing for a move. And like you said, it could go sideways for quite some time, but that's actually what happened there too, right? And the 4-year cycle is dead. I think we're all pretty convinced that it's not this happening cycle that was, retrospectively in play for quite some time. But I mean, I agree. Like, I just think that we're finding our range right now. We're going to bounce between these highs and lows within that range. But when you zoom out for a far way, I think it's going to look like this, like, sideways trading period, which even then was very volatile, even though it just looks like almost a straight line there. And eventually we're going to, I think, hit this peak.
Since 2019, there's been a new pattern showing up in markets that I don't really know if there's a name for yet, but it's the rising W. You've seen it across the stock market in late 2020, and it sets up just insano moves. And you could see the first part of that rising W, where there is
You're talking about right here.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah. You see it, and now that the last part of that W goes higher than the first two peaks, right? So if what I'm saying is true, we're gonna slightly break, okay, that 5,000 area, maybe get to 5,600, 6,000. People will be so bullish. They are going to be calling C. It's time for believe me, you're going to feel that way. Everything's going to look like we're going to 10,000. And then that rising W is going to pull back 38.2% on a Fibonacci scale. And we are going to ride into Valhalla, $35,000 on Ethereum.
There it is. Yeah.
Into 2023.
Before we get into our first news article, Dustin's asking, "Are you James Patterson?" I saw this pop up.
Saying this to
me? I saw this on Twitter too. I don't know
who the hell is Dash. He must be extremely your voice handsome, sounds like it? Well-spoken, and tenistically.
I mean, I know your real name. That's not it, unless you've been lying to me.
No, is this the guy that writes those novels? Right, the James Patterson novels. Okay.
Oh, is that Twilight? Pattinson?
No,
I don't
That's
know.
Robert Pattinson. Jeez.
Oh, that's the actor.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's move on. He's extremely handsome and well spoken. There you go.
Well, look at that.
It must be you. First news article of the day, probably the most irrelevant one, but the shine comes off Ethereum killer Solana. Yeah, that's the only reason I brought this up was for that exact reaction from you. If you didn't see it, a cross-chain bridge called Wormhole, which is a bridge between Wrapped ETH and Solana, got hacked for $320 million. This is one of the big issues with these bridges, and one of the reasons why Vitalik is has a lot of opinions on them. It weakens the network security of all participants, right? So just keep that in mind. But it basically just goes on to say that, like, it talked about the Chamath and David Sachs kind of nothing, like this edited video that was kind of bullshit, but it said Solana billionaire VCs are laughing at you. The clip was so taken out of context within the greater thing, like the greater segment. Like, I listened to every All In podcast, and I remember watching that, and I was like, you cut and paste certain things that they said to create your own narrative. That was stupid, but regardless. And then, the network's been down a lot, and lo and behold, as we've said before, the networks start to get used, and all of a sudden they start to get slow, and they start to get expensive, and it starts to, buck that trend that it's something different, right? And we've seen that happen with Ethereum many years ago, and now Solana, it's coming into effect. A lot of times these networks are cheap and fast because they're just not being used as much. I can assure you that if Ethereum was being used at the same rate as these networks, it would be cheap and fast too.
Yeah, absolutely. Ethereum was very cheap and fast early on. And this Solana here, I mean, the co-founder has threatened to kill 2 people publicly. Most recently, Ledger Status, who he DM'd, "Say it again and I'll come to your house, fuck your mother, and kill you," quote unquote, in his DMs. All right. Now,
that was to Ledger.
Yes.
Oh.
Now we we have a situation where recently on the Up Only podcast, as it was pointed out to me by R2, a a very common tactic for L1 exit liquidity. In other words, an excuse to departure your investment as a VC who's been saying for months or years that this L1 is going to kill Ethereum. How do you get out? Well, maybe you have the founder threaten a few people's lives on Twitter. All right. Maybe you have outages. Maybe you fail on purpose. Hell, slow rugs don't just happen in NFTs, people. They happen on alternative L1s all the time.
Yeah, for a little bit of context, Kobe was on a kind of, I guess, a new podcast that they're making, and he was saying one of the big conspiracy theories that nobody is talking about is this idea of how VC funds kind of work in this space. Traditionally, you know, when you're an angel investor or a VC with companies, you lock up your liquidity and you really don't have an exit point until the company goes public. It's all pre-discussed as to when you can actually sell your shares and all of that stuff. With crypto, you know, you put your position in a lot of times it's on a pre-sale and at a deep discount just to get things going. They get a very, very, very good price for a large amount of coins. Technically, they can sell whenever they want, but it doesn't behoove them, their investment, or the network to do so. And a lot of times, you know, if your VC firm or just you as a person is starting to get known as a dumper and you just exit the second anything gets a little bit frothy, you lose access to the deals. That just is what it is. You build up a reputation for yourself, and people just stop selling to you early. The conspiracy theory here, as he said, was, you know, there's, you know, likely a lot of backroom deals going on with these founders. This, you know, the VC firms or whoever will say, you know, maybe we'll give you $10 million or more to just have a meltdown. Just have a public meltdown, right? They go on Twitter, like you said, with the Solana founder, and start threatening to kill people. We're going to talk a little bit about it with ENS. And just create a controversy such that the VC firm can actually liquidate, because they're saying, look, we don't want anything to do with this. This doesn't go with our morals. We would never support someone like this, and we're exiting our. And now they have like a justified reason for actually selling. So that's kind of the idea of what's going on. Now, is any of this confirmed? No. Will it ever be? Probably not. But it does seem like a pretty sound theory, if nothing else.
Within 1 year, we will come on this podcast and say that Solana has decided to become an Ethereum bridge for gaming. The main property on there will be something called Star Atlas, and that will basically be the only reason for its existence. And
cool looking project too, actually.
I think they have a team of like 400 people. That's all Solana is going to be. It's going to be Star Atlas.
Star Atlas, yeah. Well, they have their own coin too. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna look into that one. I don't look into Solana very much, but I saw some like preview videos for that, and that actually looked really.
Oh cool. Yeah, it's legit.
In line with that, I'm just gonna skip ahead. It wasn't the next article, but it might as well be. The ENS the Ethereum name service nonprofit terminates Brantly Millegans contract over tweets. After a controversial tweet resurfaced, the legal entity backing the Ethereum name service has terminated its contract with Brantly Millegans. This was quite a story that came out Saturday night. Someone dug up a tweet from Brantly from 2016 that had some pretty nasty and very definitive and statements where there's not a lot of wiggle room. Basically saying, you know, all homosexual acts are evil. Transgenderism doesn't exist. What was it? Porn and masturbation are sins. And I didn't have it queued up because I actually didn't really want to show it on screen. But I did send it to you. I'm just realizing it. Abortion is murder. Contraception is a perversion. So is masturbation and porn. Yeah. So that's the long and short of it. Very definitive statement. It came out. He did not shy away from it. In fact, he leaned into it. They had him on, I think it's Morgan or Hello, It's Morgan, or someone hosted a spaces with him. He happily came on. He was having a discussion. The whole thing, I don't know. What he said was shit. It's definitive. You don't say, you know, what two consenting adults do in the privacy of their house without hurting any other third party or anything. You don't get to say it's evil without being able to back it up. And his overarching point was, well, I'm Catholic and this is my belief. The Pope agrees with me and the majority of the world agrees with me. So why are you coming at me like I'm the one that's it was I don't know. Do you want to jump in here and start with the conversation, because there was some interesting developments, but I thought the whole thing was, just stop giving this guy a voice, let him go away. It's Web3, and sure, we could say it's, decentralization and people like that can post whatever they want. I don't know.
Well, it's funny that the opposite side, or the side supporting Brantly, is screaming decentralization. You're looking at it right now. My name is free market capitalist, okay? The market is deciding right now what happens to Brantly, you idiots, okay? This has nothing to do. First of all, the other thing I'd like to point out is the false equivalency calling this an opinion. It's not an opinion, okay? This is not something you can opine on. It's overt hate, all right? He has the right to say it. This is a decentralized world, and we have the right to vote his ass out, drag him on spaces, and make sure he's not welcome in this industry. Market's doing what it wants. Anybody complaining here is virtue signaling just as much as the social justice warriors, just as much as Brantly is, okay? This is all just three sides, okay? And the three sides are the extreme religious angle, which this isn't even religious. This is pure hate in a man's heart. This has nothing to do with religion. Okay, he's using religion as an excuse to mask his hate, and who knows why he harbors this hate. We tend to fear things that appeal to us, right? So who knows why somebody would harbor this hate, all right? But I'll just say the market is working itself out here. He's using the false equivalency of saying that this violence is an opinion that should be listened to and accepted and tolerated, much like the quote unquote evil he has to tolerate. Well, again, the market has decided this guy's gone, all right? And anybody complaining here is just wanting to regulate the market their way, all right? So you want to regulate it.
Oh, sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
I didn't mean to jump in. Listening to what he had to say on the spaces, he was, this this space is about inclusion and tolerance, and I'm not feeling very welcome in this space right now because you all are coming at me for my ideology. When first he was lumping X amount of hundreds of millions of people into his own ideology, and I know Catholics and I know Christians, and I know that their viewpoints do not line up with him, but he is using that as his platform to say tons of people agree with me. Why are you singling me out? The other thing is his statements by design are not welcome. They reek of intolerance, and then this guy's up there saying you should be tolerating me. It was stupid. But I just want to say the one thing, when people are up there approaching this guy and trying to have a conversation, is that this guy has a conviction in his beliefs. He's up there to talk about them because he is not going to change his mind. But the problem was nobody got to the core of it. You have to make somebody like that say the words that you need them to say so that you can give them the boot. And people weren't really cutting to that. They were just screaming, you're wrong. This is my way. And you don't you're just causing him to double down on it. And fine, let him double down on it, but make him say those things. Nobody got up there and asked, you say the word evil. What is your definition of the word evil? Once you back him into that corner, he has to say things that he cannot take out or take back. When you are asking somebody to define what evil is, he cannot be wishy-washy on that. He's going to have to say stuff or he's going to look like a complete asshat. And, just saying you're wrong is just going to make him look at you and say, no, you're wrong. I'm not saying that this has to be productive or we have to give him a voice, but he said very, very definitive things that were, holding no punches. And the more that you can just make him go down that rabbit hole, the faster you're going to get him the fuck out of there. That was just the one thing that I think was missing from that.
Now, I'm not saying that anybody who goes publicly out of their way to state how much they hate gay people is dreaming of a big fat cock in their mouth. But hey, R2, is there any other news on the roster today?
Yeah, let's move on. I mentioned that NFT at NFT account owned by Mark Cuban on Instagram got banned amid controversy. The NFT Instagram account has been accused of posting sponsored content without proper disclosure. I did follow that account. That is absolutely true. The account has been removed. I mean, I got to think that the handle at NFT is got to be worth a goddamn fortune, but it is not for this world on Instagram, at least for the time being. So people did some detective work. What was being shared in their stories and on their posts. They went through all of the projects that were mentioned. A couple projects that we've been kind of pointing out pretty frequently on there. Sure, they're a little bit of the gainers, but the subsequent ones are really taking a beating. But yeah, there was a handful of outright rugs, and most of them are down 75, 69, 88%, 100%. If you follow it, it was one of those things that like I have them on my Instagram feed to kind of keep an eye on what's going on within the Instagram world. I don't look to Instagram as a source of information, but this was one of the absolute shittier ones. They had a lot of followers, probably a lot of bots, to be honest with you, and they just shilled a lot of shit blatantly, and the misinformation that this thing was spreading about NFTs was pretty bad. So I'm kind of happy to see this happen. They were charging $25,000 to $100,000 per sponsored post. To me personally, if I ever saw this account posting stuff on Instagram, it was an immediate red flag, and now it's gone
completely. Red flags everywhere. Red flags everywhere. And I mean, it just shows, though, we're all like, how are all these Instagram people finding out about these shitty projects? Well, now we know. Shark Tank.
Yeah, the founders of Fishy Fam are up there pitching the sharks about their NFTs.
I will go door to door, Mark. We were going door to door to sell these Fishy Fams.
Oh, that's perfect. We should go on Shark Tank. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, this was kind of one of the bigger topics as well this weekend. BuzzFeed outs Bored Ape Yacht Club founders. Doxing or journalism? Web3 advocates are blasting BuzzFeed for exposing the identity of the Bored Ape Yacht Club founders. Do they have a point? This is a multifaceted story. One, you have BuzzFeed doing some investigative work, finding the names and the images of these founders and posting them without presumably without consent. It's just an example of BuzzFeed's shitty like hot take clickbaiting thing. Not so much because they found out the names of these. Now these guys have corporations registered in Delaware, and when you're disclosing all of that stuff, it's all publicly available. This was coming out sooner rather than later, whether it was on their own terms or not. This wasn't some like deep hitting journalism that BuzzFeed actually took part in. But one of the things that got me really pissed off was I don't know if it's going to say it in this. Essentially, they just said, while there are no red flags surrounding the two founders of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they're, pretty inconspicuous and seem to be on the straight and narrow, what if another NFT project has some, shadowy figures working on it? And it just made me go like, fuck off. Like, that's like that saying of like, oh, we should, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide. Like we should be able to, I came into your house and took a look around. Like, thankfully you're not doing anything bad, but like, what if you were? Like, it's just such a shit justification. And that was actually my biggest issue with the article. Wasn't the fact that they doxed the Bored Ape owners, which I don't agree with. I'm a big supporter of the pseudonymous economy. But it was just that narrative of like, good thing that we did it because, somebody else in this space could be doing some really bad things with that money. People do it with cash all the time. Banks do the stupid, bad shit all the time. And it's just such a bad narrative. The other narrative that kind of came out from this was identities of the Bored Apes artists. And this was one that I thought was really interesting because people were a little bit up in arms about that too, with the success of Bored Apes. They're raising money being valued at $5 billion. And, the artists, there was a team of 5 artists. The lead one was like this great female artist and whatever. They all got compensated more than $1 million last year. Bored Apes hasn't even been out for a year. And people were calling and saying, you guys have made so much money and you only gave your artist $1 million. Sign me the fuck up. You know, like we talk about these companies that are valued in the trillions of dollars, Apple and like Google and Facebook. You know, they pay their devs, some of the high end ones, especially those working in machine learning and whatnot, maybe $500,000 a year plus bonuses. Some of them, probably the senior ones, are making upwards of $1 million a year. I don't think anybody is complaining that those guys are making $1 million a year, contributing to a $1 billion business and being unfairly compensated. $1 million plus. And keep in mind, they compensated them before this article came out. It wasn't like there was like this big controversy and now retroactively like, fine, we'll give our artists a little bit more money. They made a lot of money and good for them. Why are we mad about this? I don't know. I don't get it.
It's because we're surrounded by socialists and nobody likes to see anybody get too rich. And the moment they do, they want that money spread out in some sort of pitch for equity. Now, I call bullshit on all of this. Literally on all of it. This is the most obvious marketing ploy I've ever seen in my life. We literally just had an article from Farouk the day before where they used the word undoxed 15 times. Understand how all of this works. When was the last time BuzzFeed was relevant? They've been fading away into irrelevancy. The only thing BuzzFeed is known for is doxing people. This is an obvious marketing ploy. These guys were coming out. This was their coming out party. They decided to do it in as beautiful a fashion as possible. This is the biggest week of their lives. The entire Superbowl is going to be themed with these fucking apes. This is Guy Oseary working his magic. That any of you would buy into any of this as a legit dox is laughable. This is literally the week of their media push. They did Farouk first. They got accidentally doxed next, and now let's see what comes over the next 4 or 5 days. This is completely manufactured by media. I don't buy into the doxing for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great take on this too, right? I think the initial reaction was controversy, shame on you, blah 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 blah. But I mean, like you said, the Super Bowl is coming out. We know that a bunch of the performers have Bored Apes. And you know what? Even I was listening to the radio while I was driving yesterday, and they were talking about Justin Bieber. Oh, NFTs, like what's going on in NFTs? Justin Bieber just bought a Bored Ape for $1.3 million, and now it's only valued at $300,000. And like, that's a lot of money to lose. Maybe Justin Bieber, like that was their take, right? Justin Bieber bought that Bored Ape for whatever price he wanted to because that's the one he wanted to. But again, we're talking about it. People are talking about it. And, whether this local radio station is involved in the marketing push, which I can assure you they're not, they're getting swept up in this hype. People are just talking about it one way or another. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's good. Oh, BuzzFeed did this. Shame on them. Farouk did this. Bored Apes, artists, blah, 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 blah. I think you're absolutely right.
Understand one thing about human beings and society. And society is a farce, and it's been constructed, for false reasons. But understand, controversy drives society. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that gets people up, period. That is what the entire foundation of media is designed to do, is get you emotional about shit. Controversy sells, and Guy Oseary is the best that's ever done it. He's a master. And this is what we're seeing right now, period. You're just being sold apes. That's all.
The only bad news that you can get is not being in the news at all.
Right. And that's and again, if you're in NFTs, do not ever, I mean, if you're a believer, an ardent, so you're in here like us on AlphaMint and all that shit, don't ever believe a thing. The only thing you should ever care about seeing in the media is the acronym NFT. You just want them to spell it right. Everything else doesn't matter. Who cares what they're saying about it?
And I gotta say,
it in the news.
NFTs have been talked about more than I think more than Bitcoin, more than Ethereum, especially where they are in their kind of like life cycle. I mean, it is just incredible how much I hear this everywhere now, like
we are
everywhere. And like this was like before I even like quit my job to do NFTs 3 months ago, I don't even know, 4 months ago maybe, and started trading in 6 months ago, 7 months ago, right? Like just the amount that it has grown in that short period of time has just been absolutely mind-boggling.
The Internet of Things didn't make sense till we had NFTs. The public's barely grasping this. CloneX is the most revolutionary NFT product for that reason. People don't even begin to understand what's going on. Even people deep in this industry, you're still out there buying waifu PFPs.
Rips is saying NFTs getting on that mainstream train. So many people text me asking about them. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get people asking me about them too, and that's great. I would say this: proceed with caution. Like it's you know, I was talking to a family member yesterday about them, and I just said, like, look, like, you know, you can, but just be prepared. This is a completely different beast. It's crypto on crack. It's a crazy market, and you know, not one to just like completely ape into blindly, right? So I mean, talk about it in a positive light, explain the benefits to people is what I try and do. You know, where this can go, what the long-term outlook is, but I'm not talking about, oh yeah, you want NFTs, like get in on Little Lemon Friends, like now you need to get there, right? Like, I love Little Lemon Friends. I have them. I'm going to be holding them for a while, but that's not the angle or the viewpoint that I'm going to be expressing to people that are looking to get their toes wet, right? Like, again, first step, do you have Coinbase? Do you have any crypto? Let's get there.
Yep. You were able to purchase your Little Lemon Friends hoodies this weekend with crypto through Coinbase. Through the Coinbase Pay option. Thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Did you get one?
Got 4.
You got 4? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You don't have to own the lemon hoodie, right?
No. This was a limited. It sold out in 4 minutes. This was a limited drop. He had 4 colors in small to extra large.
Okay.
The black extra large sold out instantly. I wasn't even able to snipe one of those. But it was, it was an absolutely fabulous drop. I am so pumped for these. These are extremely high quality hoodies. From what I understand, these would normally be sold at around $60 to $80. He's selling them at $45 to try to make them accessible. Man, I can't wait. I'm so pumped for my hoodie.
It's great. You're gonna get people walking around on the street with a Little Lemon Friends hoodie, and people
what's
that? And you're gonna say, have you ever heard of NFTs?
No, and you know, I think that I think what people always ask is whether these would be exclusive to holders, whether, like, especially if you had a merch lemon, whether it would be free and stuff. Cenarius wanted to do a limited drop just to get everything out there, and he said that there are things coming exclusive to holders in the very near future, and they will be restocking these hoodies as well in the very near future. So
dope. Give me a heads up because I want to order one.
Yeah, man.
I'm in. Last news article I had pulled up, and it just kind of sums up what we've been talking about for a lot of the episode. Budlight Superbowl ad includes nouns, Ethereum NFT imagery. As expected, the beer brand's Superbowl commercial showcases noun glasses after Budlight acquires noun NFT. This is like this artwork here with the nouns glasses on it. It's pretty subtle, but it's there. It's happening, and it is going down this weekend. I think we should have, you know what, we'll talk about this later on in the week as we start to head to it. I think we should have an over-under on how many Super Bowl ads actually feature something to do with NFTs.
Yeah, I think we may even be underestimating how NFT themed the Super Bowl will be. And this is the headiest thing that I've seen in the entire Super Bowl media push, because like nouns glasses are such an inside wink to NFTs. Like when I heard nouns were going to be featured at the Super Bowl, it was like a tear drops my eye. And quite frankly, Anheuser-Busch, you know, we talk about the NFL and the NBA and time. Well, I would say Anheuser-Busch is right up there with them. Remember, they bought beer.eth, which in retrospect, a company like that may not want to be associated with. But back then, it was very, 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 a very big move because it was the largest ENS purchase ever at the time. And to see a company before anybody else move in and say, yeah, Ethereum, this was before they did their NFTs, like months. So It could have been a hint that they were even going to get into NFTs. This is a very Web3 thinking company. I'd say Anheuser-Busch is right up there with the other three that I mentioned.
Oh, it's pure Americana too, right? Like it's you know, there's a reason why their NFTs were so hotly contested at the beginning is because, you know, people that collect that shit collect that shit, and it fits right in there with, you know, football, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. I mean, these are just big brands that scream like America to the rest
And you
of the
know how
world.
brilliant this is, right? Budweiser is not a brand that young people drink. Okay, young people look at Budweiser and consider it cheap, you know, old. Like it's not a hip beer. It is not the beer that kids go to buy, right? But this is a complete appeal to Gen Z. I mean, even to me, who never wants to. I'm like, damn, I want to support Budweiser. Oh God, I gotta buy a Bud though. I mean, but yeah, they're really trying to appeal, I think, to a younger generation, which is a smart move for Budweiser, which I think, especially the Budweiser brand specifically, does not appeal to Gen Z.
I think it's two-sided too, right? Like you're going to appeal to a younger generation that have their eyes on NFTs, and we're going to be talking about. I mean, we've mentioned Budweiser a lot, and like you can't remember the last time I've had one, although I've probably drinking some of the brands under their umbrella.
Right.
You know, it also is a helping hand towards legitimacy to the actual Budweiser drinkers too, right? Like,
yep.
It's there. And again, you know, if 20 million people drink Budweiser on a regular basis, not all 20 million of them are going to be rushing to buy NFTs. In fact, it's going to be a small percentage of them, but even a small percentage of 20 million is quite a large number.
Yep.
So on the right track. And again, yeah, you know what? Maybe Friday we should do some like NFL prop bets for the Super Bowl. And then just like watch it. You know, we'll come up with some NFT themed prop bets and maybe get the degens in on that and see. Maybe we'll do some polls or I don't know, whatever, something for fun. You in?
I like it. Yes. Yes.
Do you watch the Super Bowl? Is that something that you tune into? Like on if we weren't talking, you know, NFTs
I may have said
Super
this.
Bowl?
I may have said this on the show. I don't remember if I said it on the show or Spaces, but Eli Manning led the New York Football Giants to the. Okay. I haven't watched Super Bowls since we beat the Patriots twice. Like literally, there's nothing else for me to do in football.
Just retire on top, like you've.
No, I'm serious. Like it's not even on purpose. Like I go through phases with sports. I've been in a hockey phase for the last few years, but like it's just
Okay.
When you go through the best moment you could possibly have, you're like, what else is there to do?
Was that the peak of the New York Football Giants' entire existence? Was that catch on the helmet?
Oh my God, dude! If you knew, I had a picture of that on my wall. I had it was. I mean, I don't think people understand. New York City ran out into the streets like that day. Like there was nothing more unlikely to happen. So it just in that sense, it was like, well, I don't even know what to watch anymore. And obviously the Giants have declined pretty badly since then, but it's phases, right? I'm sure in 5 years, the Giants will pick up some great first round draft pick. That'll be exciting. It'll be a long time since those Super Bowls and I'll get back into it. But like, trust me, see if your team, look at Boston. Okay. Look at how many World Series they won in a row. And then it just felt, I don't know. They just, you get full of these things. Like it's something you want so bad and happens so rarely. And then you put a bunch together in a row and you become numb to it. Right.
Yeah. Well, you're a Yankees fan, so I don't feel bad for you at all.
I will say there's something about that. No, fuck it. We're talking about, there's something about the Yankees. I love watching them win and dominate every year. When they win a World Series, Yankees are different. That hits different.
Bro, I just got to say, as a Canadian and somebody that lives around the Toronto area and a Blue Jays fan, this fucking sucks because you got the Yankees and you got Red Sox who are almost always good, and then you're constantly fighting with it is impossible to make the playoffs in that division. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Fuck you guys. Okay, yeah, I have WGMI pulled up. I didn't even look at it. I don't know. Let's click at it and see what happened. Weird whales. Is that you?
What? Just buying weird whales?
No, I could hear some like weird voice in the background, or maybe I'm hearing shit. I don't know. I'm picking up something on the radio signals. Boss Beauty is still doing well. Azuki is climbing back. Let's just briefly bring up Azuki and then we'll move on. It seemed to bottom out just before it hit that 10 ETH floor, which honest to God, I thought was going to be the ceiling, bouncing back to 13.33 ETH right now and doing pretty good. So if you still have your Azukis, I don't know if this is going to be the next leg up, but it's definitely hit some pretty solid support, especially in this bit of the the depression we've had in NFT floors. Volumes drying up.
Guess who's bullish on Azukis? You see how that happens with FMC? Huh? I'm bullish on the Azukis. I like them.
Are you bullish on the Azukis now?
Yeah. What I said, sell at 17. The other day I was looking at 9. I said, you know what? I'm bullish on Azukis again. I won't buy them. They're not my style. They're good art. I wouldn't wear one in my PFP, but our art is subjective. I mean, I'm wearing a lizard with sunglasses. So
yeah, you know what? I gotta say, the people that have the Azukis in their profile picture, I do actually like them, and I can tell who it is that's talking based on their Azuki.
I could only tell Ongo, but that's just because Ongo just drips sex and is just a handsome man.
Yeah, I only know Ongo because I'm trying to figure out what his name is every day. Okay, big kind of happening of the day is the Cool Pets NFT is finally dropping. The mint went live at 8 a.m. Eastern for the allow list. It is going to go for, I believe, 24 hours before the remaining get divvied up to the public sale. I have this, well, when I opened it, it was at 1.5 ETH floor. Let's check on it right now. Sitting at about a 2 ETH floor. I think that the majority of that depression is going to be done with. I can't imagine personally, unless the greater NFT world starts to get pummeled a little bit, if ETH goes on a run, that this is going to get much lower. I think that feels very comfortable. If they had launched when we initially had talked about it, I think that it would have been even higher. But it does feel like maybe they're not launching into super favorable conditions. I'm sure they don't care, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying that even in a bad way. I mean, this is their project. It's Cool Cats. It kind of just supersedes what's going on, and it's going to succeed no matter, well, I shouldn't say no matter what. It's good. It's a very, very high probability of success. But I think if we had kind of hit that Monday target that they were talking about last week, I think that that price target of 5 ETH probably could have been hit pre-reveal. I don't think we're going to see it now, though. Are you there?
Yeah, I have my cool pet. I'm going to hatch it and try to turn it into a water pet.
Yeah, you got your one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I got my one, and I realized it's funny because Icon said, "Who's snoring?" I realized my dog under the table right now.
I was wondering what that was. I was like looking at my phone. And I'm like, did I leave something open?
I'm like, what is anyone talking about? And then I look, and the dog's right under the table, which she normally isn't, and she is just snoring like.
I was so
confused. So I've alerted
what
her.
was going on there. Yeah, I mean, you wear the noise canceling headphones and stuff like that. You're oblivious.
I can't hear anything. Exactly.
Yeah,
All I hear is the show. I could barely hear my own voice in these sound canceling.
Yeah, somebody's saying our stomach is fully exploding on air. Like, I'm gonna have to leave to go get a I almost said a vasectomy, appendectomy.
Freudian slip there. Hey, Cindy, you're making a lot of noise. Stop snoring.
There you go. Yeah, Cool Pets. So where are you at with that? What's your feeling? You're gonna hatch yours. You're going for a water pet. I saw somebody earlier ask, like, if we were in on Cool Pets, are we holding or selling? I had a price target that I was gonna enter in on, but I don't think it's gonna be hit. So I'm gonna just sit on the sidelines with this one. But I'm okay with that.
I'll say this about Cool Pets. I am very bullish on Cool Cats, and this is the Cool Cats companion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we could talk about this a lot like we talked about Mutant Apes back in the day, They got a lot of love, and then they kind of dropped below mint. I don't think these are going below mint. The Mutant Apes were a little bit more expensive, but for a long time there, they were sitting for basically a steal. And
they went under 2.8.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
And they, now we're sitting here talking about them at a 22 ETH floor. Last
I like them now, Artie. They look good. here
The
at 22.
cool pets or the oh
The
yeah, I
mute
mean, hey, when
22
something's worth
looks good on
$100,000, you know, everything looks a little bit better, right?
looks
But
good on them. They wear it well. They wear it well.
they do. No, you know what? The one thing I will say about the Bored Ape, like I know this is just a complete tangent from it, but I do think that the mutant art is substantially better than the original Bored Ape art, and like you know they have shown a substantial kind of growth trajectory in putting out quality, and I don't mind the Bored Ape art at all.
Everyone loves to give me these Sophie's choices every day. Cool Cat or Kaiju King? Kaiju Kings have a better return percentage-wise from here. Both are communities I would fight tooth and claw to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. Cass is going for fire or air. You're going for water. I don't know. I'm actually surprised you weren't going for grass, if I'm being honest with you. That seems so
Yeah.
on brand.
Well, no, I mean I'm using science this year. It is the year of the water tiger in the lunar astrology discipline. So I am going with water. Plus blue is my favorite color. Plus the cats are blue. Plus I love water. I often drink it. I often dream about dipping my body in it. I like water. I'm for it. Fire. Grass, it's good. It's good. I enjoy the cannabis. If they had a cannabis one, I'd probably have it in.
Could you imagine the 5 element types? Water, grass, fire, air, and weed.
People be a lot more fucking excited about the game, but they're so wholesome over there. I mean, the wholesome. I love the wholesome.
I mean, hologram saying he's a fire snake. Cass is saying when weed is smoked, it's fire. I mean, yeah, maybe you can maybe you could combine a grass element and a fire element to make like
and
smoke. I don't know.
And what the plants actually eat carbon dioxide, which is air, and when you harvest them, they are over 80% water weight. So
when you need to put it out, you got to use water.
Mm-hmm. So, well, no, but even the plant itself is mostly water until you've dried it for consumption. So I would say all of these represent the beautiful cannabis plant. But again, I'll be going for water.
I love how we got there.
Mm-hmm. This is the analysis that the industry needs.
I gotta say, these look pretty good. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw some original ones all hanging out in a row, and I thought, I don't know, maybe I like them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so do we have any information on when the game actually starts? I think they're waiting for everything to be minted. That's correct, right?
Right, because they're going to kick 1,900 plus whatever is not minted in the pre-sale to the public. That'll be 24 hours from, you said it went live 8 a.m. today?
It went live at 8 a.m., yep.
Yep, so 24 hours from now, 8 a.m. tomorrow, it shall go public. It will be botted something fierce. I don't know, maybe they'll have a few things in place so it's not like, disgustingly botted, but whatever. It's not going to be easy to get these. They're going to go in a gas war.
Oh yeah, and for sure. They're going to fly.
Yeah. So we are going to see what the game is, how it is. When we interviewed the Orc Boys, they were asked whether they had anything to do with the Cool Pets game, whether they were consulted, because in my opinion, if you are making an on-chain game and you don't consult the Ether Orcs team, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I was surprised when they said no, they had offered, but they weren't. So we will see. I would like to see how the game is played, what the actions are like. You will be questing. You will be questing for items to turn your pet into a certain trait, and you'll also be questing for treasure or gold, which you could turn into milk. Cats earn the milk passively. There will be a large LP for this. Very wealthy people like Psyduck, who on their first day will collect 100,000 milk, over 100,000 milk from all the cats he has, will quickly stake that into the Uniswap LP and ride off into Valhalla, as that becomes one of the most traded coins on the exchanges. People, what we're going to see this year we're already seeing the death of DeFi, the death of altcoins, the death of alt L1s. The top coins on those charts are going to be utility tokens. Zug, zug, baby. Get that banana up there, watching that R waist, looking for that milk. And guess what is debuting this Sunday on the Super Bowl in a commercial? A commercial, my friends, for the Bored Apes. Not the Bored Apes appearing in a commercial. A commercial for the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Where did you see? You could have brought this up when we were talking about the Super Bowl, or did you just find this out?
This is privileged information, leaked information. I could even say maybe not even true, just a rumor. Probably
NFA at your own advice.
Yeah. I don't know if they're actually going to go live. As far as Ape, I believe Ape will be announced on this commercial.
Oh, okay. You think this is that's the big.
I think they may go.
So cool.
I think it may say Ape is going live Monday or next week. You know, I don't know. I think they're going to announce it
now.
That would be.
Most anyone holding anything in that ecosystem is watching the Super Bowl with bated breath. Like
the dogs are 10 ETH, man. This shit's gonna get silly.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah, the dogs are 10 ETH.
That's
shit's
amazing.
Gonna get silly.
Yeah. Thank you, Cass, and a couple other people mentioned it. I think Milk is live on the 10th, same as the game. So that is coming out real soon.
This is going to be a very fun year, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Buckle up, baby. We're going to be here every single weekday morning along for the ride talking about it. Look at this, 72 people listening. We were up to 80. I appreciate that. You guys are fucking amazing. What else do we have on the docket? I see a lot of people mentioning stuff. Let's talk about, I pulled this up, saw this morning. This guy, Alemsa, 300,000 followers, tweeted out this morning. I woke up and it looks like I've been OpenSea hacked. Don't know how yet. Someone sold most of my NFTs and took 42 ETH. My cool cats, doodles, lost poets, artifact, dead fellas, etc., etc. I think your dog is snoring again. He lost everything. Just a word for the wise. If you are dealing with a 7-figure portfolio, a 6-figure portfolio, any amount of money that means something substantial to you in your long-term plans, you are allowed to buy a ledger or a Trezor. You are allowed to buy more than one of them.
And a Mac.
And a Mac. Whatever. But, people will say your ledger or your Trezor can still get hacked if you sign a bad contract. Yes, you can. It can, for sure. That's why you buy one that you throw in a safety deposit box or you bury in a hole in the ground, or whatever you need to do with it, and you keep it there for, as long as you need to. And if you ever need to pull something out, you put it to another Trezor or ledger that you start to trade from. Okay, like, take this shit seriously. 42 ETH alone, I don't know how that's an OpenSea hack, but 42 ETH alone is like quick math, what, several $100,000 at this point.
I feel like
just over $100,000, but it's a lot of fucking money. Like, just take it seriously. Don't leave it on a MetaMask wallet. What's going on?
I feel like a Macintosh computer and not being an idiot do a lot more than a hardware wallet. Tell me, how many Bored Ape hacks would have been prevented by a hardware wallet? Didn't these guys voluntarily basically hand their keys over to people trying to?
Oh yeah. I was going to say the OpenSea transfer thing might be a little bit different, but yes. In
fact, it seems like a hard wallet has been stealing people's money for the last 2. Honestly, guys, get a hard wallet, do all that bullshit, spend your money. The 2 most important security aspects in your life are you and your Macintosh. Okay, these are the 2 gates to your security. Period. You can get the hardware wallet. It's more of a pacifier. It's there to make you feel good. It's tiger repellent, right? You spray this aerosol in the air, it keeps tigers away. Well, I don't see any tigers around me, do you?
I don't know.
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
I missed the tiger reference. Am I like, what? Am I behind that something? Am I missing the tiger?
I don't know.
Just buy a ledger, guys. Come on. Fuck.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No one with a Mac has ever been hacked.
All right. You said you wanted to get fired up this morning. Let's talk about Squiggles. and let's talk about Tasty Bones.
Yeah.
Squiggles was a project that, let me just pull it up on the larger screen here. Squiggles was a project that was a 3D Doodles derivative. The Doodles team said no thank you, and made them, redefine it. They shockingly very quickly came up with an entirely new art form, which was probably already in existence, and they were just leveraging that knowledge that Doodles was definitely going to shut them down, because Doodles probably has their own 3D project coming out. Just a rumor, but think about it. And now here we are. They are pumping out shit. They have 230,000 followers. It seems to be like a super hyped up drop, and you have some feelings towards it.
Yes. So I was actually pretty excited about Squiggles initially, because I loved the Doodles derivatives they did were doing. Really, they looked really, really good. I had some that I was posting about. I thought they looked really great, right? Now, Doodles probably thought they looked really great too.
Who does this to a Lamborghini, by the way? What the is this? That better be Photoshop.
Yeah, that's a thing.
They did it for a whitelist spot, I'm sure. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Yeah, well, when they got DCMA'd by Doodles, they quickly threw all that art out and changed their art, okay? Maybe that is okay to some people, but to me, it just seems like they said, well, we don't want to give up all this money, so we'd better put something else, because we have 180,000 followers. Why would we waste all that hype and 180,000 followers? I don't even care if they're good, which they're not, okay? This is an obvious cash grab. And sure, every day we're going to go through the whatever. People who mint are still going to make money. You're going to be able to flip. I don't like sticking new people who are unsophisticated in this market with worthless pieces of junk. And anytime we support these projects, that's what we do. Go ahead, mint it. Go ahead, dump it into volume if that's what you want to do. Whatever. But this is an obvious fucking cash grab. And the art that they conceived of after being told they can't do the doodles is terrible. And the fact that we're going into a period where 3 of the most anticipated drops are doodles derivatives. Pointless doodles derivatives. Low effort, not even that good, but pointless. What is the point of something like Tasty Bones? Okay. These look exactly like the skull doodle that fuck render rocks every day. This is basically that skull doodle 5,000 times. People are going to mistake these for doodles. People are going to mistake these for doodles. This is literally a fucking cash grab. They have an ambitious roadmap for no reason. They're coming up with a game and a utility token. Who the fuck cares? Like, this was Catbrick's issue too. You're a derivative. No one wants a token from a derivative. Nobody cares. You have to be, culture is what's valuable, okay? Tokens are the fractionalization of culture. NFTs aren't liquid, all right? Tokens allow you to fractionalize those NFTs. This is a bullshit project that we don't even know what the secondary value is, and they're already teasing fractionalization. That's the issue with these fucking things. That's why they're cash grabs. I don't care if they cook. Who can support these things? Who would work with these garbage teams? I don't understand it. But hey, they're going to fucking make millions of dollars. You guys are going to go out there and dump on a bunch of poor, unsuspecting idiots, and the world's going to go on. This is not the new meta. Squiggles, Tasty Bones, these doodle derivatives, this is not the new fucking meta. These are cash grabs.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty hard to disagree with that. I think the mint price on Squiggles was like incredibly high too. Was it like 0.3, 0.4 or something? And they just kept jacking it up too.
Hey, Dark Illidan. Did Creature Toads sell on a token? Did Creature Toads have a roadmap? Did Creature Toads give a fuck? Creature Toads was a passion project that never changed its direction. Okay? These are fucking cash grabs. How is that a cash grab? Semper his project went to fucking zero, and the guy went in there every day and fostered his community and worked with them. You think if Tasty Bones goes to fucking zero, these guys are coming in every day? No, they're going to do a slow rug, and they're going to leave it to the head mod to answer everybody's questions. Good luck to the head mod at Tasty Bones, buddy. You're going to be the CEO they put up right before the SEC comes. Good luck with that shit. Fucking trash projects.
Well, I mean, for those of you that don't know, that's literally what happened to Catbricks as they waved goodbye from the rearview mirror, and they stuck this poor guy with a very pissed off and honestly, like you said, new community. Right? These were, you know, they onboarded a bunch of things, they promised the world to them, people bought into the hype, and you know, they not even slow rugged, but you know, it failed intentionally and just went, all right, here you go. Oh, by the way, you're part of the team now, and we're gonna leave.
Let me not mince words. Tasty Bones and Squiggles are scams, and the only reason people are supporting it is because of greed. It's because they want to make money and dump on the next idiot. That's the only reason anybody's supporting it. Period.
Tasty Bones, definitely not sponsored by Tasty Bones this episode. Caprix is, I reached out to the guy who's taking over Caprix. I actually just want to hear his story. It's been a bit of a wild ride there, but they're actually at a higher floor price than they were before the I don't know why I'm air quoting, the rug pull happened. Something they've started banding together. It's weird. It's a weird dynamic. Weird things are going on. All right, so you're not a fan of Tasty Bones, and you're not a fan of Squiggles.
And I tried to get allow list spots for our community. All right. I tried to get allow spots from Fishy Fam. Right. I am out there working, trying to get allow spots from all these projects. But the more I dig down on them and the more I learn about them, the less I want to do it. And of course, you know, I believe if the community votes and wants something, you damn right I'm going to go out there and get it for you guys. I'm not going to let my own, you know, opinions get in the way of that. But I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about these things. Period.
No, and you shouldn't too. Like, hey, like, and again, like, sure, don't come at us when these things mint and they double or triple in price. That's not what we're saying.
I'm not making a price call.
No,
at all.
No,
these
it's just
fabulous cooks and likely will be.
Yeah. I mean, we said it with Prime Ape Planet was the first one. And I, at the time, before all the other shit ones started coming out, actually a little bit bullish on it. It did really well. And every subsequent one did a little less well. And now there are people that are minting big cats and shit for 0.4. And you know, women of crypto or whatever that one was. It's the 3D one. I'm just saying specifically. And they're getting crushed on it, man. They're getting crushed because, you know, the market does start rejecting it. But you know, it's so easy to point to one and say, well, this one cooked. Like, yeah, it cooked. It did for sure. You know, these cycles, we see the teams fucking buy the, you know, sweep them, and it looks like there's tons of volume. People get caught up in it, and
the problem is they convince a bunch of naive people that this is going to be the next blue chip. All right. And there were probably a ton of people sitting there with 10 ETH hapes who had never seen that much money in their lives. And they're sitting there holding that bag to 3. And you even think to yourself, oh, well, 3 is still a good profit. That you think they're going to sell at 3? They're not, because you buy into the cult. They're going to ride it to 0. They're going to wait for it to go back to 10. That's why I do this analysis. It's not about a whitelist trade. That's fucking arbitrage. We all know.
And you know what? You know what else these poor people are doing? Is they go up to 5 ETH, 10 ETH, like Hate Beast, 8 ETH, whatever it was. They're probably telling their significant other, their family, like, I just made $30,000 minting this NFT, $40,000 minting this NFT. And you know what? They've gone down by 60, 70%, and they'll continue to go down, or likely will continue to go down. And everyone's going to say, how, you know, how'd that do? And then they're either going to double down. Oh yeah, it's still going great. Or, you know, or they're going to be viewed as losing a lot of money. It just sucks. I don't know. It just sucks. Right. Yeah. You haven't made or lost anything until you sell. But, you know, a lot of people like to talk about those. This is how much I've made. You haven't made anything. You got to sell it. If if that's your play, if that's what you're saying, right? Yeah. Hermano, I think you're referring to Catbricks, and you have some connections over there. I did message Nick on Twitter, so yeah, let me know. Shoot me a DM, and we'll figure it out. Yeah, you guys are talking about Pixelmon. I have that queued up again. went through a couple of very successful mints with the trainers and sitting at a great floor right now. The mint is actually, fuck it. Let's just talk about Pixelmon. You were very excited about this project when we started looking into it a little bit deeper. It's got a fabulous looking game attached to it. I'm just going to start pulling up tabs here now. The actual Dutch auction mint is going down today. I'm going to click on this link and get that up there. We're going in about 2 hours and 15 minutes right now, starting at 3 ETH, and it is dropping by 0.1 every 10 minutes. Do I think it's going to be a gas war to mint out at 3 ETH? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you where this thing is going to sell out at, but I do think that it is going to do very well regardless. If any of you guys have some predictions on that, let me know and I'll be more than happy to share it. But I don't know where this is going. And as Free Market said, it's like one of those, if you know, you know. It seems to have a very genuine hype behind it. I'm not seeing this being promoted by a lot of those like 3 retweets, send to all your friends, post on Instagram, like and do some graffiti on the side of your house and you'll get it. Yeah, exactly. But there's absolutely something there. There is a working game demo that you can go try out. I was mostly away from the keyboard this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to do that. So I promise you, we're not sleeping on it, but there's so much to talk about that sometimes these things just kind of get pushed to the back, especially when we're dealing with the likes of all the Cool Pets delays, the raid party stuff that's going down. Sometimes the show is more a little bit retrospective. We talk about things that have happened and some hype projects that are coming up. So please don't think that we're sleeping on it. There's a million projects that we could be talking about, and it's hard to get to all of them.
And thank you, Question Face, because you just made 2 dots go together in my mind. You connected the dots because I didn't realize Pixelmon is a play on Pokemon. That makes sense. I thought Mon was like a Jamaican way to say man, like they were.
Oh, you didn't realize that this was like a Pokemon like.
Now
it's not a copy. I mean, they could have been DMCA'd a long time ago. I think there's enough differentiation from it that they're playing okay.
That's some dangerous shit. Why would you name it Pixelmon? I'm sure
this entity has been in existence for long enough that I think that they probably know that they're playing okay. And
for perspective, I figured out the Beatles was a pun like a year ago.
Wow, you didn't have to tell anybody that. We would have been okay now. I don't know. FMC stock is dropping rapidly.
What's my coin price at?
I don't know. What is it at? I haven't been on that site in forever.
Yeah.
Pixelmon dropping today. What do you guys think it's going to mint out at? I think a lot of people say it's going to sell out at 3 ETH. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me at all at this point. I really hope that keep talking. I really hope this is the right OpenSea page because it's hard to find. Here's what I hate on these websites. Post your fucking OpenSea link somewhere easy. I should not have to Google or search on OpenSea to find where your stuff is. And I don't know, like if it's not immediately obvious, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry. Not to FUD this project or whatever, but put that goddamn link in there. So I hope this is the right one. Please don't rush to it and start buying if it's not. But it looks like there's some pretty big sales and 55 ETH floor. I know it was a very limited drop and they had a Dutch auction that sold out a very, very high price too. But exciting.
I don't, and to the DCMA stuff, I'm not too worried about it. This team seems well funded. I know the people behind it are pretty well known. And I have a feeling they've asked their lawyers what they can get away with. So I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. And like Vintage Extra is saying Pixel has been a Minecraft game for a long time. Yes, it has. I don't know how profit oriented that game was. So maybe they're playing in a different ballpark now. But yeah, like Free Market said, I'm sure I would hope that they've consulted with the appropriate people based on how long this has been brewing, how much they've been working on it, unlike something like Caprix. and you know, the future intentions they have with this, right? So yeah, keep an eye on it. I'll definitely put it on the list to recap how the Dutch auction goes down and what's next for them tomorrow, because I think it's going to be an exciting project to keep an eye on. Another exciting project that has been at least entertaining to keep an eye on has been Hate Beast. It finally did reveal on Friday. It was a bit of a shit show. The floor has gone down from about 8.5 ETH to about 4.5 ETH. This is honestly higher than I thought it would be, because people are still actively buying these, and it does surprise me. You can, you know, fancy it up all you want, but some of the hapes that were being shown in the DGen dojo and on Twitter were just absolutely hilarious. First one up right here. I mean, the air. Okay, maybe there's an ear hole there. Maybe, you know, you got to have the, I don't know, call a shit sandwich, however you want to call it. It's still a shit sandwich. The air is like literally just clipping through it. And this is one of those things. They took 17 days to reveal, and this is what comes out. This team was just like, look, we can't fucking do this anymore. Like, just put it out there, and it is what it is. I don't know. I think this, again, just, it's a joke. I don't know.
Yeah, this isn't real life.
Look at this.
Even knows what's going on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where are they getting all this ETH? Where are these people getting all this ETH? I guess there's no wonder ETH has rallied from 2,300 to 3,100, because there's a bunch of idiots out there buying ETH.
You're gonna tell me this is a $15,000 JPEG?
Ugliest thing I've ever seen.
There's not going to be any community left around this. This isn't going to be some exclusive club, hate holders. I don't know.
The only thing that I will say, and I don't know why any fashion company would look at these things and decide, yes, this is the project we want to partner with. But these are trading like there is some sort of ace in the hole bet. There's no other explanation in my mind for these to be trading above, you know, 0.2 ETH. Like none. I perplexed. Bad art, stupid concept, just everything.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Like, if Bored Apes ever decide to do a 3D project of their own, they're gonna just blow these things out of the fucking water. I can assure you that.
Really? Because I've seen the Bored Ape 3D samples, and they're not much better than that.
Is that right? There are samples?
Oh yeah, there's samples.
I wasn't referencing anything.
I know. Now, I will say this. I think that this was a very early tease from the Bored Apes. They weren't deploying the money they have into this type of thing yet. But yeah, these are not the entity that you would want to see come up behind you in a dark alley in the metaverse. None of these.
I love how any metaverse play is the FMC test is, do I want to be in a dark alley with one of these? And if the answer is no, it's a
if a lemon came up behind me in a dark alley, I feel like clouds would part and sunlight would shine through. This would be like, oh, where are we going now? And rainbows would just shoot out of the horizon. And, you know, this is a crime. Oh, someone just offered me 1.77 for my cool cat. Or cool pet.
Cool pet? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I got to turn my
3D lemons.
When 3D lemons? February 15th.
Oh, it's Pixel Lemons.
Oh, Pixel Lemons on the 15th. Metaverse integration next month.
Yes. They look good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for those.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to look at Hape anymore. Let's just be done with it. Fucking 45,000 ETH in volume.
Dead to us.
God damn. That's crazy.
Dead to us.
I think last we'll finish off with Raid Party. I'm gonna put the restream link into the AM show chat. If you want to join us up here, you can start coming up on stage and hanging out. We'll do it a little bit, and then afterwards we will probably head over to Discord. Oh my god, fuck! I need to organize my Discord. I can't even find AlphaMint. That's terrible. There we go. Come on up, DGens. If you're an AM or a Moon Lounge member, it is open to you, and we love to hear from you. 2112.run is minting today too. I believe I saw this one pop up. I've kind of just seen this around. Free Market, have you seen this project at all?
I have whitelist. I don't know anything about it.
What, you do?
Yeah.
You're minting it, right?
Is it today?
Yeah, it's saying Legendary and Notorious are minting at 5, OG at 7. They are 0.2112 ETH. The rares are 0.6 ETH. Epics are 1.2 ETH. This is, I don't know. It's kind of a cool project. I mean, I'm a sucker for like any of this like dystopian, cyberpunk, Blade Runner type stuff. And this website is speaking to me. They've got a lot of cool stuff going on, though. I don't know tons about it, but it seems to be like more of an all-encompassing game where like you kind of have ownership over your own character and you're kind of all existing, maybe like a LARPing kind of situation or whatnot. But you know, I was hoping maybe you would have some color on it, but you know,
no, I forgot. I just went to go check, and I don't think I submitted my wallet to their thing. So.
Oh, well, you should go check. I would.
You know what it was?
Access to it.
It's just they had 68 pings. I don't look at a Discord if there's 68 pings. It's too much to go through. So that's why I missed it. King
Lawson says we're capping and agree to disagree. I'm sorry. I don't know which project you're referring to. I would assume we were still talking about Hape when you're doing that, but you know, let me know. And if it is referring to Hape, I can assure you we're not capping. Sorry.
Fellow kids, we are not capping.
I believe that means lying, but I'm not lying, not a fan. Okay, last topic. I know you're starting to get a little bit fired up about this raid party. The reveal did happen on the weekend. The minting process has gone through. There has been another delay in the production of the game. I think that is going live now on the 12th. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was just trying to catch up this morning on the announcements. Actually, I can pull it right now. This has been a bit of a ride, honestly. The high mint prices, I think, got to some people. Now the floor has been dropping. There was a bunch of frustration on, what the Genesis mint entailed. It's a hero, but it's a hero plus, right? So you get the added cooldown, the reduced cooldown and being able to mint and new fighters, and the fighters are cheaper. It goes from 20 to 15, which is a substantial benefit. But there was a lot of frustration that the stats, i.e., the amount of fighters in your party and the damage output are below what some of the regular heroes that were minted are. So I guess that was frustration point number one. And delays, right? Like people putting their money into this and sinking the liquidity into this and watching things get delayed and watching the floor price get depressed. It can be frustrating. I totally get that. I was personally really excited to start playing this game today. That is definitely not going to be the case. So, I mean, I don't know. How are you feeling about this right now? I know Zark listens to this sometimes if he's in. Your dog is snoring again. She is relentless. But it's hilarious nonetheless. You need to actually just put a camera on the dog so we can watch it snore.
That would be great.
Yeah, the dog.
I alerted her again. It's these damn noise canceling headphones. You can't hear a thing.
It's okay. My dog hasn't snored. I snore a lot though, so if I ever fall asleep on screen, you will definitely get to hear that. But yeah. So raid party fighters now down to about 0.5. I will say they are trading within a pretty wide range. People are definitely picking up some of the higher powered ones, as that seems to be the biggest value proposition behind them. But it's definitely fallen a lot, and there's some criticism in the Discord about maybe some trolling going on. I don't know how to politely say it, right?
So, I know, poor traders. Oh, I feel bad for them. I'm waiting for this game to start. I'm pumped. We're putting together the AlphaMint Guild. And that's it. I'm very excited for it. I don't know what else to comment on it. I'm waiting for it. And once the game starts, we're going to have a lot of color for you. This game is ready. It is finished. It is magnificent. It is large. It is unlike anything we've seen in NFTs yet. And go ahead, get all your FUD out now. Enjoy.
I agree with that. I mean, you watch the floor drop and you say, like, I invested this much in it and now it's worth this much. I personally put that money in so that I could play the game. Are the delays frustrating? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. But here's the other thing too. If they had recognized that the game wasn't done, they had started it and it was just a disaster, the exact same FUD would be happening just on the flip side of it. It really is just a wait and see. And like for me, it's just this bet that it's an asymmetric upside that this team is going to pull off everything that they promised that they could pull off. And we are actually looking at, kind of the next iteration in on-chain gaming. So sure, like if you needed to exit now or you were doing this as a trade, you're probably not feeling great about it. But them developing the game was never to benefit the trader's mentality, right? Like they didn't develop a game, they didn't build the ecosystem or this project so that you could mint at 2 ETH and flip it for 3 ETH or whatever it is. So I mean, keep that in mind a little bit. It doesn't mean it's dead. If you are bearish on the team or how it's been performing or whatever, that's completely up to you. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try and talk you out of it. I get it. But yeah, I mean, again, like I'm one of those people that just would prefer a finished and quality project be released rather than listening to the FUD and the demands and say, fine, we'll just click the go live button and whatever happens, it happens. You guys can make your own bed. Like you don't want to go down that road, especially if you were intending on playing the game. There will be lots to dissect once the game actually comes out. But for now, I mean, I freed up the appropriate amount I'm just gonna say I freed up the appropriate amount of liquidity so that I didn't feel pinched right now, right? If I had used every dollar and now I've backed myself into this hole, you're gonna feel tight about it. But these are risk rewards, and if a 2.4 ETH mint was overextending yourself, then I get it. I understand your frustration, but the game is coming. So I at this point I don't really know.
Makes zero sense. Too much. You bought a game. We have to see what the game is. Ridiculous. It's whatever. It's people love their ETH. I don't blame them. I love ETH too.
For sure. So, I mean, I know you guys want us to get all fired up about this right now and whatnot, but like, I don't know what there is. You could FUD if you want. If you want to sell, you could sell. If you want to buy more, I might actually buy more. I'm not sure where the floor is going to go to. I think I've taken my position in it personally for now, though. But yeah, here we are. If you were looking for a quick flip, I guess this wasn't it. Maybe it never was meant to be.
I encourage people to not stop buying ETH. I hope ETH goes to 4,000, just so you guys can see that rising ETH prices have nothing to do with your stupid JPEGs. I don't know how many times I have to fire this correlation down. CryptoPunks were at 20 ETH when ETH was $300, okay? They went to 150 ETH as ETH rallied to $4,800. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. ETH going up has nothing to do with your JPEGs. Your num-nums. Correlation is not causation. It's a transient effect. Get your heads out the gutter.
Yeah. Look, I mean, for a specific individual, if you are holding a JPEG that was worth 15 ETH and ETH has now gone from 2,200 and runs to 4,000, like, and the floor of that NFT holds steady, and all of a sudden maybe you can pull in a year's salary to sell one NFT, then fine, great, do that. But that is not a reflection of the entire market. That is one individual thing. And I can guarantee you that is not happening en masse enough to completely decimate the market.
I love it when people come out of nowhere and are like, what is this bear market? I look at my portfolio. I'm like, oof, what is this person talking about? What NFTs did they buy?
Yeah,
Lord have mercy.
It is a great point. I mean, I've got some that I was hoping would go up and hasn't. I have had some in this that have gone up with ETH. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Look at Coolman's universe. We talked about that. It has had a wild ride, but ETH is running now to 3,100, and Coolman's last night went from 1 ETH to 1.6 ETH, right? Like, it's not
always a bear market somewhere.
100%. You could see that in stock market and stuff too, right? Like, if you were invested in the wrong companies over the last 2 years, your portfolio might not be looking amazing right now, but it doesn't change the fact that we've been in the midst of the biggest bull run of our entire lives, right?
Yeah, exactly. Most of the complaints in this market are by traders. So let's think about that for a second.
Definitely. And I mean, look, where you are situated, what you're doing, where your attention is going to be indicative of how you're feeling a lot too. And we look at mid-December, and where we were with AlphaMint. Like, the rest of the market was saying bear market. Oh my God, when are things going to come back? And like, I'm not trying to do a shameless plug because it's just absolutely true. AlphaMint was crushing it. We, in our own community, thought we were in the midst of an amazing bull run. And everybody else in NFTs were like, oh God, this is so boring. But you surround yourself with good people, you get into good projects, you have good knowledge and information flow, and you act accordingly. There's opportunities abound in every single market, right? If a volume dries up as a whole, like, sure, you're going to see some depressions, but if you've managed your liquidity properly, everything's going to be on sale, right? If you have
no
liquid,
one wants a dried up hole.
Well, if you're liquid and prices go down, everything's on sale. If you're illiquid and prices go down, it's the exact same situation, but now the world is falling, right? And I'm not saying that to dictate how you should be managing your portfolio, but it's all that perspective, how you've angled yourself, how you've situated yourself, right? And I was extremely illiquid during November, and I felt like I couldn't buy a goddamn thing. I couldn't mint anything. I backed myself into this corner where half my NFTs I couldn't even sell during that time. But you waited it out, and you live and you learn, and most of those projects have come back.
Just remember, guys, Dustin says he's still salty about their broken gotcha. Salt is what brings out the taste in food. All right. And that's why all of your FUD turns into a giant momentum train the moment you see how glorious this game is they have underneath. But please keep FUDding. I need more cheap fighters too.
I love this. I sent my dad a picture of my egg and told him it's worth $7,000. He keeps calling me to sell the bubble. Might have to block him.
Remember, you quote your losses in ETH and your wins in USD, but you got to remember, if you're talking to dad, you probably want to quote in ETH because then he's not going to annoy you to sell. You don't want to tell the rents what it is in USD. That's just never a good thing.
I typically just try not to quote anything in other than ETH at this point. I've learned the hard way. I spent $20 on every picture I have. That's it.
ETH is going to $100,000 per coin.
All right. Do you want to provide some time frame or some thoughts on there?
No.
Okay, just 100K.
100K all day.
Before or after Bitcoin hits 200K?
Bitcoin's going to 10,000.
Bitcoin's going to 10,000?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what Bitcoin does except get talked about a lot.
It's digital gold, free market.
Mm-hmm. What does gold do?
It makes things shiny. No, I actually do love Bitcoin, but I respect your opinion on it too, because I'm not a Bitcoin maxi.
It's the greatest meme of all time. It's not going anywhere. I just have no use for it in my life.
So so is Bitcoin going to 10K before it goes to 100K?
Probably. You got to understand, crypto is dead, guys. There's no reason for it. NFTs are this entire industry. Blockchain was invented for this. People are just starting to grasp it this year. I've been talking about this for 3 years now, and it's cute to see, oh, look at you growing up. Everyone's coming to realize it now. And it is. It's a good thing. But you got to understand, global financial transacting layer, they don't need that. You can move fiat around really easily and cheaply. They charge you a lot because you're poor. But when we're talking about these banks and institutions, you got to convince them they need Bitcoin, and they don't. They don't need it. But you know what they need? They need JPEGs. Everybody needs JPEGs. You buy one, you can't stop. This is why crypto is here. DeFi is 2 or 3 years away from even being remotely viable, and it's only going to work because NFTs force it mainstream. Yeah. Look, if you try and explain DeFi to somebody that is not in the crypto space, like, good fucking luck, right? Like, It's a giant leap that isn't necessary yet.
like in the future, do I see utility or use case or a spot for decentralized finance? Yes, but like let's actually get people participating in the ecosystem first. NFTs are that way because I can explain NFTs a lot easier to people than I can explain even Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is something that just should make sense, right? You need that passageway, right? You need that idea that clicks in somebody, that aha moment that says, okay, this is kind of cool, right? It's hard to do that with Bitcoin, somewhat hard to do that with Ethereum. It's impossible to do that with DeFi. NFTs, easy.
This is an actual revenue model. I make art, I sell you art, you give me ETH. That's a revenue model. No other crypto, or the only revenue is give us more revenue to continue building out this Ponzi. But the moment that people stop buying it for speculative gain, it pulls an ohm. That's the only reason. Guys, the best you're ever going to do long term is 5% on ETH. That's what you should expect to yield. But that's great because right now you could buy ETH at 33% of what it's actually worth. And one day that 5% is going to feel like 33 times what you're paying for ETH right now when 100%. ETH goes to 100K. These DeFi yields are ridiculous. It's all Ponzi's.
Warren Buffett's Coca-Cola dividend is more than his initial investment in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and that's how you should look at it. We say 5%, all you guys laugh, and I get it because I don't even like to enter a trade unless it's 10x and better, but we are in the early investor accumulation stage. It's easy for us. That's what we're doing. Long term, this thing's going to fall to a normal nominal yield based on the amount of people who are helping support this network with independent nodes. I mean, this is all good. It's all natural, but I just think DeFi as a concept is dead for now. And I still see the altcoin DeFi people on there claiming another alt season is coming. I hope they get some sort of bear bounce here into ETH 5,000 over the next couple months, because while you cannot short NFTs, you can short the shit out of these DeFi protocols, and FMC is salivating.
Short them. Cass, what's going on? GM, happy Monday.
Good day, Sir Cass.
Good day. I heard the Discord sound pop up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort it out. That's all.
Cass's intro music is just the Discord notification going crazy.
It comes in a beat, There's beats around the world with Discords. I think we should make an AlphaMint song through Discord beats. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool. Yeah, guys.
I have some friends.
Yes. Discord notification sound. No.
Well, yeah, no. It's just been a very, 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 very eventful past 72 hours, to be honest.
Okay, let's talk about it.
True that.
Okay. It started off with my son getting COVID, which was fun.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cass. Get better quick to your son.
Thank you. And he should be all right. Little solid little thing. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
They're so resilient.
So it kind of halted my celebrations, so to say, over the weekend, because I got a fucking Star.
I was gonna say it's Moon Monday for Cass, baby. This is exciting.
Yeah,
bro. Listen,
dude, I was so happy for you. I was a good list of people that got on there, but I was thrilled for you.
Oh, thank you. No, I thank everyone, to be honest, because.
So tell us how you got it.
It was through a community vote, and that's the bit that really kind of got to me. I think not in a bad way, but in a really good way, because
in the feels.
Yeah, because it's your peers that wanted you to have it, if that makes sense. So it was down to the community to dictate who would get those spots, and to be chosen. Dude, I can't even lie. I actually cried. I actually really cried when I found out.
That's amazing, man.
No, because it means a lot. I've never experienced anything like this. Fuck NFT worlds, yeah. I've never experienced anything like this. Like, the whole community. You know, people chat shit about our community. No, let's get it right. Fucking Star Wolves and AlphaMint have got the best community in the NFT space, hands down.
I'll be honest, I didn't vote for you, Cass, because I couldn't vote. I'm not level 10. I got to get in there and battle some. I went to try to go vote, and it was like, you are not level 10. I was like, oh.
But no,
You gotta get in there and grind that.
I know.
It was absolutely amazing, man. Like, honestly, even now, I'm still stoked, and anything new, because I think they've opened up a new room for the winners. And even that got me really excited. You know, I need to calm down, dude, because I could end up having a heart attack with this shit.
Oh my god! Relax.
Please don't.
Relax.
Yeah, don't have a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, no. Again, to everyone, I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because
we love you.
made an old man very, 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 very happy.
4.69, but Jesus, that floor bounces around more than. I don't even know what's happening here.
Someone's got to go buy that. Look at that.
No.
The floor is 1 to 30 ETH.
That's a nice jump.
The thing is, I've noticed that same person. I think they need liquid, because it's gone down from 7, now it's gone down to 4.5.
If you need
Oh,
to
no
you need to
judgments.
sell.
Yeah.
It'll go to somebody if somebody wants to pay 4.69 ETH to that.
I just thought they
it'll
were
go to a good
teasing.
holder.
They were,
And I'm not
teasing
saying
'cause
they're not. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, the price was getting higher last week. Like every day I'd log on and it would go up by an ETH, and I thought it was just them teasing everyone. Like, oh, you should have bought yesterday. Better buy today, because who knows what's happening tomorrow.
The reverse Dutch auction. It just keeps going up. Should have bought yesterday. It was cheaper. Oh, nope, tomorrow it's going up more. No, honestly, I mean, this
He's
is
like,
the game we
damn,
play.
that
There's-
didn't work. And now this is the lowest price I've seen it.
Some people got a little fired up that they listed at like such a low price or whatever. I mean, hey,
Guys,
shit. If somebody,
let people.
it is incredibly flattering if somebody wants to pay, and it was when those auctions were going on. Like, it is incredibly flattering and humbling when people pay those prices. So don't take any offense to that. If somebody wants to sell, it's fine. It is it's A-okay.
Not at all. But just to put it out there, you need to be some sort of extraterrestrial god with fucking so much money to be buying my Star Wars off me. I will tell you that. I'll tell you that now. Yeah.
If someone offers you 1,000 ETH, I'm just going to advise you to take it and buy the one off the floor. But that's really the only,
Do you know what? It's weird. It depends. If I really fall in love with it, no, it's just not gonna happen.
Right. No, I feel that way about certain JPEGs. There's just no price on them, right? They might as well be worth 0, because I ain't never selling it.
No, exactly that. Another thing I wanted to kind of touch upon, it was something that you guys were talking about earlier on, which kind of got me really fired up in a way. It's the whole decentralized space, and what I personally believe the decentralized space can potentially do for the world, to be honest. I do think that is the biggest thing since the Industrial Revolution. I do think that in the next 5 to 10 years, the whole world that we know it is just going to be completely different because of this space. And I think I get a bit fired up when certain real world companies try to get involved, and they use the same old tactics that they've used for the best part of 100 or 200 years, thinking they're still going to rub the same way.
Well, this is the for some of them the dying breath of a company that refuses to adapt or stay relevant, right? And actually, Free Market and I interviewed it's Timo from Time Pieces, the NFT. And like that was a company that, we say, from Web 2.0, but I mean, in all reality, they're from well before the internet was ever even a thing, right? Obviously, 100 years this year. But I had a lot of respect for them, one, because I know that Keith Grossman loves the NFTs and he's in there participating in it and whatnot. And, they continue to kind of advance their own ecosystem and the things that they're doing and trying new things and recognizing the shortcomings of their initial drop, which I actually thought was overstated too. But then you look at something like Pepsi, where it was just this kind of bungled. They called it the mic drop.
Pepsi, yeah.
It was pretty
Low effort.
It lacked substance. Yeah, sure. Low effort's probably the best way to describe it, right? And it was that I think Free Market was it Pepsi that put Wag Me with the A in it?
Was it Pepsi? No. Who was it? Yeah, maybe it was Pepsi that said Wag Me. I forget.
Yeah. It definitely felt like that Steve Buscemi, how do you do, fellow kids moment, right? Whereas, like, I think Time is more doing their best to like fully embrace and respect the situation at hand.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think you're right with Time. There's certain companies that understand the space or trying to make the best out of the space so they can further their businesses, which is understandable because you have to adapt with the times. As these guys are adapting, that's the operative word there. Whereas a lot of these companies, they're just coming in thinking that because their brand is going to, help them along, and it's not gonna work like that.
Meta and Pepsi are not Time and the NBA. These are two different ends of the corporate spectrum. I think one end, like Time and the NBA, embraces Web3 for genuine reasons. Of course, they want to help their business, but they're adapting to what they think is going to be the future.
Adam Silver, like at face value, kind of looks like a supervillain or something like that. But man, that guy, he is. You look at the state of the NBA and the amount of money in that ecosystem and the amount of they're paying the players and just the global expanse that the NBA continues to just be at the forefront of for sports. Time and NBA are, I feel, good traditional companies to have advocating for you.
Yep.
I mean, you won't see any NHL players posting publicly that they bought a Bored Ape, right? And it's because the NHL, their stance is that their players should not be bigger than the game. Their players shouldn't have a voice. They don't want their players out there becoming their own personalities. It's the way that they operate. And I hate it because I actually like hockey and I think it's very important to like Canadian culture and stuff like that. But they do not let their players be out there. We saw it, years ago with PK Subban when he played for the Montreal Canadiens. He was starting to become, a big figure, a big personality, outspoken, and man, they just kept hitting him back down every time. It was awful. And you know what? There's a reason why their players are making approximately the same salary that they did 20 years ago, and the NBA and the NFL and the MLB have all tripled, quadrupled, or more their salaries.
The center for the Carolina Hurricanes owns a lemon, multiple.
Does he?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Don't do that to me.
His name is the center for the Carolina Hurricanes, obviously. Cass, let me ask you a question because I think that you might be able to provide some context to this this question that Pozo is asking in the audience. And if you can't, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. But I saw some stuff going down with that Beans NFT that we mentioned late last week that was dropping, and I don't know actually what happened with it. Do you have any insight, or Free Market, you too?
I have no idea who Beans NFT is.
The Weird Ways to Die. That one? You're muted right now, sir. Is it the Weird Ways to Die Beans?
Yes, exactly. No, sorry, my dog started barking. I was trying not to kill everybody's eardrums. I missed something. I mean, this thing minted at 0.3 and it's sitting right above mint price right there. So something happened with it, other than it just not maybe being great. But we start to, jump on and start researching for the show and whatnot. So when things kind of happen in real time, it's pretty hard to grab a hold of it and get the full picture of what's happening. So if anybody wants to give me a heads up, I could probably talk about it. We are coming up towards the end of the show. Cass, racist comments from the founder.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go. You can't get away with racist comments or looking down or anyone in Web3 because that's what Web3 is about. That's what this is about. It's to be able to accept each other for who they are. You know?
Yeah, and I actually really liked Free Market's point earlier, right? This is transparency, and it's the market decision, and the market is allowed to reject these things, and it should.
Which is
Right?
great. No,
You know?
which is great because myself, being when I was younger, yeah, I had my fair share of racial abuse, and it ain't a nice feeling, if I'm honest with you. It's really not. I was a bit more bold in the way I handled it, but for some people out there,
Mhm.
it can really destroy you. You know.
Yeah.
It would, you know. Okay, like example, my dad is very dark skinned and my mother is very fair. Okay. And I remember going like on holiday somewhere, and you would get, you know, people that will come up to my parents and say things like, "You two are not meant to be together."
Yeah,
They'll-
it's fucking
not-
shameful, man. I just don't, you know.
It's nasty. But then the thing is with you know, this space, the market decides, and it's good to see that, you know, people within the space have strong opinions about things like this, because for God, like I don't want my kids going through what I went through. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Hey, I mean, this space is about having a vote, right? And it's the ability to vote with your money, or if you're, you know, part of a DAO protocol, to vote with your stake or all of that stuff, right? And you know, this is about having some agency over that for sure.
Zach Boychuk
Pardon?
of the Carolina Hurricanes. Zach
Gotcha.
Boychuk.
Yeah.
The one thing I was going to ask, which I was asking in the Moonland yesterday, and they said ask free market. But I think after today, I think I've got my answer. But I'm still going to ask the question anyway. I think it was asked earlier on. If you had a cool pet, would you sell it to get a kaiju, or would you keep the cool pet? If it was one or the other.
Let me think. I would say, because we're talking about a baby kaiju, not a
Yes.
gem, because
Yeah.
that's what you could trade it for. And the baby kaijus don't generate a utility token, so that is definitely an advantage the cool pets will have, is that they can quest for milk. That said, I believe these little babies are going to be able to, the baby kaijus are going to be able to quest for things soon as well. So while they don't passively generate our waste, Augmented Labs, the owner of Kaiju Kings, is a gaming company, but they are very quiet. They don't tease their roadmap. They don't try to get people FOMO'd. They don't overpromise. And right now, people don't really know what's coming down the pike. So honestly, that's a pretty tough choice. I think at this point, I would say for most people, baby kaiju. For me, I'm keeping the cool pet only because I have two baby kaijus and I want to play the cool pet game. I think that if you were short-term minded, looking at a month, you'd buy the cool pet or sell it, or keep the cool pet. And if you were long-term minded, you would sell it and buy a kaiju before those get out of hand, because I think they will.
Oh, well said. That's
As somebody that has neither, if I just had to choose one to get into the community, I'd probably be picking the kaijus.
Mm-hmm. Like, as you know, the
Just my
Cool Cats
first
community is
intuition, and that's not an insult to Cool Cats. Sorry.
right. No, Cool Cats community is a vibe, right? It's wholesome. They're all friends with each other. It's that type of community. Kaiju Kings are alpha hunters, right? These are some of the sharpest minds in NFTs getting together. The alpha room there is, you know, second to few as far as NFT projects like Wall Street Kongs and stuff like that. So that just the baby getting you into that alpha room is more than worth the price of admission.
This is my cool pet right here.
He's pretty cool.
Is it a he? He is a he, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's stunning, man. He really is stunning.
No, I
was going to say the idea that I had, and it was only just recently because I still weren't sure myself. And it was only like listening to you lot and seeing a kaiju with FMC. Now, if I was to sell my cool pet, I wouldn't be able to be exposed in the cool cats ecosystem. But if I'm getting a kaiju for the sake of alpha, then I'm already good, because technically speaking, the alpha that FMC would find over there, he would probably relay it to us.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I call a bit of alpha over in the kaiju room as well. I'm not stealing alpha from other rooms, but
No,
I will. No. But I just think that, again, the cool cats are a very developed ecosystem with a lot of value propositions to offer you right now. Kaijus are a bet on the future. I believe with all my conviction in that bet. But that's the difference. Right now, you can buy into something you can touch. With kaijus, the best utility right now is that alpha room. So,
I get that. I can get that. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is hope that Ethereum pumps. When it pumps, for some reason, people drop the prices because they correlated not with ETH but with the US dollar. And I'm hoping if it touches that 1 ETH,
yep.
then I think I'm gonna get a baby kaiju. But I'm not gonna sell my cool pet. I think that's I want to play.
Yeah, I mean, both is the right answer, right?
Yeah.
Both is the correct answer, but you know, I'll be getting these Sophie's Choice questions every day. I don't know. I like the idea you could buy more than one NFT. How about that?
No, you're only allowed to have one,
It's only one.
and that's the AlphaMint pass.
If
100.
you're, yeah. I mean, I understand when people are trying to choose between two similarly priced NFTs and want some guidance there. But, you know, you're giving me two great projects here. So I don't think you'd go wrong with either.
With either one, yeah. And then
Yeah.
A good would you rather should be very difficult to choose. It just means, you know, you've hit the over-under line very close.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Well, talking about an amazing project which far, you know, it goes beyond cool pets and goes well beyond kaijus, is Squiggles. Oh, hey, did you see the art? It's shit. No,
Yes.
disrespect anyone. I mean, it
How
was
could it not be? They rushed it out in a month. What do you?
Dude,
how could it be good?
If you look at it carefully, yeah, they've got this 3D image, and then the mouths are like these flat 2D things that they've stuck on top like it was on Photoshop. I don't know if
Could
you know
be.
it. It's really bad. And I don't understand where they thought they could get 0.4. Well, they will get it. 0.4 ETH and public sale. I don't know if you know this or not, but if it does go to public, it's a 1 ETH mint.
Wait, what's 1 ETH mint?
Oh, so whitelist is 0.4
And
Which
Squiggles is a 1 ETH mint?
on public. Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You think it's a cash grab? I wonder.
I've noticed with them that their price has continually gone up as their hype has gone up.
yes.
Wonder what they're doing with that money. I doubt they're going to build a rich ecosystem.
They're going to build They're going to build an ecosystem in the West Indies, bro, for them to live in.
Yeah, exactly. That money's going right to Coinbase. Withdraw.
There you go. Withdraw. Oh, I think I want this island today. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Well, we might be wrong. We might be completely wrong, but it doesn't look safe.
I don't know how we could be wrong. They literally conceived this art like overnight. Like, what are they? I mean, and honestly, they just took every doodles they have and were like, change it enough that we can't DCMA it. Like that monkey with the ugly ass banana on its head.
No. They actually copied another project that never made it through.
Oh, perfect.
What was? I think it was either Hologram or Illidan. They were talking about it in the Moon Lounge, and because I was saying, what do you think of Squiggles? And they were like, don't you think it looks like this? And they showed me this NFT project on Twitter that never got released, was showing artwork of it, and it was more or less a 3D version of that dude.
Yeah, all these guys are copy paste. That's all it is. This is just copy paste, and I can't even. The hype is but again, it's just people who are trying to pump their own bags now. Anyone who has a whitelist, you know, they see 200,000 people and they're chasing hype, and it's going to end very badly, just like Hate Beast.
Do you think Hate Beast is not going to do too good?
Hate Beast is going to zero.
I just felt mecha vibes with that one. So, or mecha vibes.
I'd rock 10 mechas before I put one of these hapes in my hidden wallet.
In the hidden wallet, you know, you don't even want to put it in there.
Right. I would commit to rocking a mecha till the day I died before I even looked at somebody else's hape on their phone.
No, I'd agree. Oh, on a random one, Habibis. Heard of it?
Yes. The Habibis have been pumped to me like 700 times over the last 2 months. So it's a funny project to me. I laugh because like the kaijus who are in it tend to just have fun with it. Like no one's sitting there like trying to, like it's a wacky project in a good way. You know what I mean?
It is fun. It is so much fun. I mean, I remember with the first night I got into the server when it was at 0.02 or even 0, right? And they were talking about, everyone was saying, this is a rug, this is a rug. And all these guys were putting, was, this ain't no ordinary rug, this is a special rug. And then they magic carpets everywhere and all
I'm telling you, I appreciate that more. You know, I always encourage teams with ambitious roadmaps to throw that roadmap out and just put something wacky on there. Like, have fun. Like, if you don't take yourself too seriously, no one's going to ever accuse you of trying to do anything serious like that. And all these projects tend to just overpromise in ridiculous ways. And, you know, you put too much pressure on yourself when you do that.
They're really hilarious. I love their vibe. Their vibe is really cool. And to be fair, their alpha's pretty on point as well. So
nice.
But I think that's correlating with kaijus, I suppose, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of kaijus in there. The someone put a Habibi on their kaiju, or the whatever the headdress is called, is absolutely hilarious. I love this guy's Habibi kaiju. The kaijus are so creative too. There's a lemon kaiju in there. There's an evil Peppy kaiju in there. These guys do great work. It's a lot of fun. Bullish on kaijus.
You guys want to see something?
Yes.
Let's have a look.
I just got a little DM here. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Our website's up.
Whoa!
AlphaMint.io.
Shit!
Look at this.
Send a link, please.
Still working on it. Yeah,
AlphaMint.io is that's what the cool kids get.
We get the cool. Look at
yeah.
There's some great stuff. Like About. Got our amazing founders, Scott, NVO, and Drip Cult. Look at this. There's a wolf there. The Began. Scott's Rocket. That's an Oni, right?
That is an Oni, yes.
Yeah.
Bold choice there, good. Cotton.
No, it looks good. I actually like that. It's been a long time since I looked at them. Began. Look at this.
Yeah, I want you to look at that Oni and tell me
the AlphaMint shows.
Ooh, sexy.
One spot. Look at this.
You go back and look at that Oni and tell me that Azuki isn't this cycle's ON1. Same project.
That's amazing. That is absolutely
amazing. Fire. Motherfucker's 1.2 right now. No chill in the MFers. And you know why? This is a highly sought after collectible. This is going to define a generation of crypto Twitter nerds and rapscallions that will proudly rock these MFers as they become historical artifacts. People be sleeping on the MFers.
Oh no, MFers is doing great. Drip just said I wasn't supposed to share that, and I immediately was like, oh fuck. I was just the area of shit, right?
Hey, do you know what? I've got to say another thing, yeah. Drip is a fucking good-looking man. Every time I see his picture pop up,
this is positive EV. This is good alpha. I will tell everybody here that Cass's alpha is on point.
What that Drip is actually?
Yeah, in reference to Drip Gold. Yes.
Hey, he's seriously like he makes me not want to put my missus in front of the screen, dude. Yeah, that's how good-looking he is.
I do wives.
I'm bullish on Tom Nook. I'll just say that.
Please, no one visit that website. Oh, okay, then I better kind of.
Definitely don't check out AlphaMint.io. I was not supposed to share that, guys. AlphaMint.io doesn't exist.
Is this like when you tell them to not post things in the no fun room? Or like, hey guys, don't post anything in the contest room. We forgot to put it on slow mode. Goddamn animal.
Yeah, they just get in there and just go to town. There's savages in here. Just for a little bit of context, Cass, is there anything else you want to talk about? We're probably going to start wrapping this up.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone. And that's probably the last time you're going to see that little lemon on that screen.
He had a
The
good
lemon.
Yeah, my little lemon is going to have to go on the
Turn into a wolf.
Mm-hmm. He's going to turn into a wolf, dude. He's going to...
Ow.
Ow!
There we go.
There you go.
Love the wolves.
Thanks, guys, man.
Thanks.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
sir.
Yeah, for some context, the thing about the beans NFT, and I actually did see this. I guess there was supposed to be a 7,700 or 7,000-ish supply, and the contract allowed people to just keep minting. And I think one person or like a small group of people minted like on another 2,200 of these things below mint price somehow. So that's a bit of a fuck up. I don't know how they're managing that, but maybe I'll spend some time looking at that and figuring out what WTF is going on there. What else? Yeah, I think that was good. That was a good show.
Yes,
I had fun. Anything else you want to
10
talk
of
about?
10.
10 of 10?
No. Mm-hmm. 10 of 10.
10 of 10. That's it. We've peaked, guys. The last AlphaMint NFT show ever. No, I'm kidding.
Well, after that faux pas,
What did we faux pas?
show to the website.
Oh,
We can't let you forget it now.
no, I'm getting canceled.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah, Spotify isn't hiring us anytime soon.
no.
No, that was a Joe Rogan reference because he's
Yeah,
in
I
the
know.
news. Okay,
You want to talk about that one tomorrow?
I guess. Is it Web3 related? I have no desire to talk about it.
I don't know. He's probably mentioned NFTs once or twice.
He has. I know he had some
Yeah.
ape on there, something.
Cool.
He can't touch that shit. He's way too hated.
All right, guys. What? Like, look at this. 60. We have 60 people for almost the entire show. 70. We're up to 80. That's incredible. I really, really appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for being here. I think we're gonna have a absolutely gigantic week, and I'm expecting big things to come out of the NFT world going forward. I think we got a bright future ahead of us. We talked a lot of stuff. Superbowl. We talked about the ENS kind of controversy, if you want to call it that. Instagram banning NFTs, the Bored Ape doxing. We talked about the Cool Pets drop, the raid party going down, getting delayed a little bit. Touched on Pixelmon, Hate Prime, and the shit show that was. Lots of good stuff this episode. So if you tuned in late, it's always recorded for you guys. What else? Free market. Get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gen.